Hello, and thank you for coming to watch this video. This month marks nearly a year and a half since I first moved to Berlin and decided to pursue German residency full-time. Living and adapting as a still relatively green American expat here isn't always easy, so today I'd like to share with you 10 household items that have helped me to feel a little bit more at home here. Since I live in Berlin, you might assume that the most important household item is the bottle opener for all of that beer you will probably be drinking. Or maybe even the ubiquitous Doc Martens boots.
Nope. The most important item in a German apartment is the laundry drying rack. Sexy, right? As you may or may not know, tumble dryers are quite rare in a German apartment, and in most European countries for that matter, it's not really a common item. But a drying rack is much better for the environment. It saves a lot of energy, and it's better for your clothes as well. It'll save you money in the long run. This one was pretty easy for me. It quickly became second nature. And it doesn't really take that much more time than to just throw your clothes in the dryer, where they're likely to become wrinkly when you forget about them. It's pretty hard to forget about your laundry when it's sitting in your room calling out your name. One of the worst social blunders you can make when entering a German home is to not take your street shoes off at the door. It's considered very rude to track dirt from outside into the clean home. Most people keep a set of slippers or house shoes to wear inside. One of the first things I do when I get home is to change into my house slippers, and sometimes do a little dance. These are just a cheap pair from IKEA, but the nicer ones are made of felt wool. They're very useful for keeping your feet warm in the winter, or if you have very old creaky floors like mine. German apartments almost never have built-in closets. If you're lucky, you'll have enough room for a big armoire, but for winter coats that carry a lot of outside dirt, are you sensing a theme here? German homes are very focused on cleanliness. Most people invest in a simple clothing rack. I use mine for my somewhat excessive collection of black winter coats. I basically have one for every occasion at this point. You definitely don't need to hoard as many coats as I have, but hey, it's Berlin, right? We like the color black here. In Berlin especially, nearly everyone either owns a bike or will use one at some point to get around. Even though it is not technically a law here, it is always safer and smarter to wear a helmet anytime you get on a bike. This one is pretty self-explanatory. Reusable tote bags are always better for the environment than single-use paper or plastic bags, and in Germany you always have to pay extra to get these anyway. Plus, tote bags have many possible uses in addition to carrying your groceries. Winters in Germany can be very cold and wet, so you will be much happier if you have good quality socks for the weather. Wool is generally the best, and I especially recommend Smart Wool socks. A really helpful multi-use item to have in the home is a throw blanket. It can give you some extra warmth on those cold winter evenings, give you a surface to do some yoga stretches if you don't own a mat, and best of all, you can use it as a picnic blanket for the park when you want to take advantage of the beautiful summer weather. Even though a lot of places here take card, cash is still very prevalent to pay for things like beer at the Späti. Inevitably, you will end up with a pretty significant collection of coins, so it helps to have a coin purse to keep them organized. If you're like me, you've also accumulated enough 1, 2, and 5 euro cent coins to fill an entire separate bowl at home. This one is pretty specific and not the most necessary, but I found it very helpful to keep one of these glass jugs in my room for water refills, rather than going to the kitchen sink every time. Plus, it makes me feel kinda posh to use it. This one is just from IKEA. And finally, the dreaded German grammar workbook. It's not the most fun item to keep around, but using it will make a huge difference if you are trying to improve your German language skills, especially if you keep it in a very visible place to motivate or guilt trip you into actually studying. The first time I used it, the lesson was so confusing I wanted to cry, but learning proper grammar really does make a big difference.
Well, that's everything for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you would like to see more videos like this, please hit subscribe or like or leave a comment down below, and I will see you next time.